So sometimes why we might get elbow pain, of course, you've definitely heard of the term maybe tennis elbow or golfer's elbow, where people might be holding the racket for long periods of time and then they might be using the wrong mechanics, right, to hit the ball, and they're overusing their forearms to hit it. But sometimes it also could be, your bones in your forearms, right? So there's basically an ulna and radius, and they might not be rotating as well when you're doing this, and that could be causing you some hitch, or it just doesn't really feel smooth for you, and that could be causing you some of the pain as well. So if you have something as simple as this, like a Voodoo Floss, right, you can easily do that yourself, and I'm going to show you a few things that you can do right now. So ideally for the Voodoo Floss, you're able to have a partner to help you out, but if not, it's going to take a little bit more effort because you really want to try to get the first anchor down. So from here, right, I'm trying to get it probably a few inches below the elbows, right on the middle of the forearm. Right, once I get the first anchor down, it should be much easier from here. So now you want to pull 50% band tension, right, and just keep wrapping up, right? Try to 50% band tension and go up. You don't want to wrap too hard. If not, your forearms will start to get ischemic, so there's no blood flow to there, and your hands or fingers might start to get a little tingly as well, with some numbness. So that's exactly not what you want, right? And now you just want to keep wrapping up, right, a little bit up above the elbow joint as well, just to really decongest that area. It could be below, it could be above, right? We never know what's really causing kind of some of these elbow pain. It it's always something. It could be something below or above the joint, right? As we learn it in physio school, or if you're never studying physio school, it could just sometimes be under here or above here that could be causing issues. Yeah. So next, right, once you kind of get this down, right, of course you can just start with some pulses with it. So easily what you can do is just try to straighten it, come back, straighten, come back, right, in this position, right? Get a lot of reps in this position with the wrist extension, right? Of course, you can also do it this way, where you're just trying to really lock out this elbow, right? Try to get maybe 50 to 100 reps in those two positions. Of course, you can also do it like this, right? Just trying to really move it back and forth, right? Try to bend it and straighten it. Really trying to get the elbows moving. If you look at it from the side. And of course, then once you get it a little bit more warmed up in these positions, right, then you can of course do some push-ups with it, right? Really trying to get the elbow flexing and extending. Really feel if you can try to get as much elbow flexion as you can, as deep into it. So this is falling a little, same exact thing, right? Just try to really get as deep as you can into elbow flexion, coming up and down out of it. And once that's feeling a little bit better, right, you can also, right, just go from this position where your shoulders are behind your elbows, right, and you're gonna hold basically onto your elbows. And when it's going forward, when you're traveling forward, you just try to twist it in, and then you're gonna twist it out, twist it in, twist it out, twist it in, twist it out. Just really teaching your hands and your palms to pronate into it and to internally rotate into this position, right, along with the elbows. Okay, so you're really wanting to use this to pull yourself in and pull yourself out of that position. Really trying to twist it out. Once you get a few good reps here, right, you can also, right, basically do some manual resistance against it. So let's say if I'm pulling out like this, right, I want you to resist it with your forearms pulling the other way. So if I'm pulling in, my forearm is going to pull out like this. So I'm just going to resist it for a few seconds. And of course, I can do it the other way as well. This is pulling out, and my forearms are trying to twist inwards, right, trying to really resist it. And then again, the other side. Good. You can do that for a few more reps just to really get the elbow joint moving and greasing well. Trying to get some isometric action going on in this position. Quick interruption here. If you're an athlete who's tired of being injured, slow, and immobile, check out the link in group description below for exclusive access to programs, content, and weekly calls, and you get all that for free. Back to the video. And of course, next, you can also do this in open chain. So you can, of course, just do it up and down like this, right? Just like a bicep curl, really trying to get the elbow joint moving well, right? Just really trying to work through that full range of motion. Of course, you can try to twist it at the end as well with using your arms to assist you to pull even more into this internally rotate position. Just trying to really get the elbow joint moving well. And last thing, which might be my favorite to really get the elbows working along with the floss band, is basically you want to do a wall push-up. So you want to lean your body weight forward. So I don't want you to hinge into the hips, right? I want you to basically have your body completely straight, right? And then your wrist or your palms to be basically in line with your shoulders, right? You're basically gonna go down, right? Just like a push-up. But when you're coming up, I want you to lift up your palms, right? The base of the palms right here, right? Basically, or the heels of the palms, right? And just be loading the knuckles right here, right? To push yourself back out. So I'll show you a rep right here. You're gonna go down, right? And from here, you're gonna lift up your palms or the base of the palms, and you're gonna try to push back out, right? And this will really use much more of those elbow muscles, right? The forearm muscles around here, just really cool contracting around this whole joint, right? Which could be great when you're doing it with a floss band as well. So you're gonna basically go down for a few reps here, try to really get as much elbow flexion as possible, as deep as possible, and then trying to lift up your base of the palms, then pushing back out. Yeah, and again, go down, pushing through the knuckles of the palms to get back out. You can do that for a few reps. And once you're done with this, you can easily, right, just try to take this off, right? And now, after taking it off, you should feel a good amount of blood flowing back into it. The skin now is going to slowly hydrate as well, right? And your elbows should be feeling much better with so much blood pumping through it. And so I really, really enjoy using Voodoo Floss to help alleviate pain and just desensitizing some of those symptoms early on, especially in the acute stage, to really help you get the range of motion back initially and just building, the confidence back in your system, in your brain, and your nervous system to say that this motion is now actually okay. I am able to start loading it and improve that function once again. This was a super quick video on what you can do with a Voodoo Floss if you're having some elbow pain. And if you're wanting more content like these, right, make sure to join my Gains Chamber community in the group description below for more programs and rehab protocols such as this.